everyone. Welcome to another episode of Afrotuk Agro TV, whereby we talk about recent innovations that can help our rural farmers as well as farmers in African countries and all over the world to improve in their agricultural production and also help the general public to learn about agricultural productions. And here today we have our wonderful guest in the person of Mr. Metin Ozurek, the CEO of EFO Biotechnology. And we are so happy to have you here. And I'm very sure everyone is going to learn a lot from this program. So, Mr. Metin, can you give us a brief information about yourself and also about EFO Biotechnology activities?
Thank you, dear Sola. My name is Metin Özürek, EFO Biotechnology CEO. EFO Biotechnology company has developed the ProVile and EcoProbiotic and Proverim and Vetorin brands as a result of domestic and national R&D studies of Turkish origin. Our company, which has implemented ecological and organic production technologies in Turkey, names not Turkey, these names, new names Turkey, by using human, living and nature-friendly probiotics bacteria, has managed to become one of the world's leading companies in the fields of agriculture, hygiene, cleaning, and cosmetics, which is approximately 15 years of experience. We produce biological, harmless, and high-performance products. We provide strong protection and repair against biological problems and threats and maybe encountered in today's world. Our solution obtained by isolating selected special bacterial species add safe and innovative touches to many areas of life.
Thank you so much, Mr. Metin. Thank you so much. I can say that EFO Biotechnology is into a lot of agricultural activities, which is very, very innovative and which is very encouraging for agricultural production. So now I'm going to ask you, how would you describe biotechnology-oriented agricultural production models? How would you describe it based on your level of knowledge and expertise, Mr. Metin?
Thank you. Biotechnology-oriented agriculture production models represent the most modern phase of agriculture. We're no longer just talking about planting and harvesting seeds. There is an approach that considers the soils, seed and plant and ecosystem as a whole with scientific methods. For example, let's look at it under three main headings.
Okay.
Thanks to genetic engineering, plants that are resistant to drought and can grow in salinity are being developed. The soil is almost rehabilitated with microbial fertilizers. These fertilizers are produced from natural bacteria and help the soil maintain its oven balance. Biological solutions are preferred instead of chemical pesticides in the fight against pests. Protection is provided with beneficial insects or natural microorganisms without harming nature. Propose to produce higher quality and high yield to grow healthier, safer, and environmentally friendly products. For this reason, these models are moving forward with the goal of zero carbon footprint in new brands, new action, new activity, zero carbon footprint, which shapes the agriculture of the future. We can express it as.
Okay, thank you so much for that detailed explanation. Thank you so much. As we can see that from your explanation, we could see, yeah, we could see that the main goal for biotechnology, agricultural oriented production model is to influence zero carbon footprint in agricultural production, and which is very needed for to shape a climate change friendly agricultural production.
Yeah.
Now, why has biotechnology become important in modern agriculture? Why will you say it is important briefly? Why? Thank you, Mr. Martin.
Thank you. Because the world is changing. Because the world is changing. Climate changing, drought, increasing population, and failing yields have shown the limits the classical methods. Farmers can no longer get the same yield with the old methods. Let's look at this under four main heading. This is where microbial biofertilizers come in. Production can be made even in arid soils with plants that require less water. Dependence of chemical pesticide decreases at various resistance to disease and pests and developed. With microbial biofertilizers, the soil is revitalized and the water retention capacity increase. The farmer gains economic gain by getting higher yields from the same area. As a result, biotechnology is no longer just an option. It is a necessity for the survival of agriculture. We can express it as.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin. Thank you so much for explaining how agriculture biotechnology has become a necessity in modern agriculture. Thank you so much for that explanation. Now, we can see that these new models are increasing. They are increasing in modern agriculture. Now, how can we compare it to traditional farming methods? These new methods, these new models from biotechnology, how is it compared to traditional farming models?
Thank you. Traditional agriculture uses intensive water chemical fertilizers and pesticides. Chemical pesticide is bad to plants. To get high yields in the short term, yes, it gives immediate results, but in the long run, one, the soil gets tired. Two, yields decrease. Three, the environment is polluted. Four, cost increase, a very high cost. In biotechnology-based agriculture, more efficiency is obtained with less input. Soil and water resources are protected, no harm to the environment. In short, traditional agriculture save the present by microbial biofertilizer. Secure is the future. Secure is the future, Mr. Kainsola.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin, for giving us a detailed comparison between traditional agriculture as well as modern agriculture, biotechnology infused modern agriculture. So we can see basically that traditional agriculture saves the present. It gives quick quick remedy for the present, while modern agriculture, which is biotechnology infused, secures the future. Thank you so much for that. Now let's look at the dynamics and the changes. What are the main benefits of biotechnology in agricultural production?
Thank you. Let's look it at under five main heading. Let's open the subject. One, productivity, plant health, resource efficiency, ecological benefit, food safety. Productivity, more and better quality products are obtained from the same field. Plant health, varieties resistant to pests and diseases are developed. Resource efficiency, less water, less fertilizer is used. Ecological benefit, natural balance and preserved biodiversity increase. Biodiversity, very important. Food safety, products that do not harm human health reach the tables.
Thank you so much for that, for giving us an inspo to the benefits of biotechnology, which includes food safety, resource efficiency, just like you said. Now, how does biotechnology contribute to solving global problems? For example, food security and climate change, and many more. We have a lot of global problems, but how does biotechnology solve this problem? Most especially food security and climate change.
Okay, thank you. Two main heading, look, let's open the topic. In terms of food safety, in terms of climate change, in terms of food safety, production losses are reduced thanks to plants' resistance to drought, salinity, and disease. Microbial fertilizers produce healthier food by reducing chemicals. In terms of climate change, agriculture is protected against extreme heat and precipitation change with resistance plants. By improving soil health, carbon is sequestered better and emissions are reduced. As a result, microbial biofertilizers both secures food and offers agricultural model compatible with the climate crisis. We can express it as.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you for showing us how this biotechnology can help to solve food security as well as climate change. Now, let's look at this. What are the economical and ethical concerns regarding biotechnology practice in agriculture? What are the ethical and ethical concerns and economic concerns about it?
Thank you. Agricultural biotechnology. High-tech and patent seeds can be costly, and smallholder farmers may find and difficult to access this solution. Very important, patented seeds. The long-term effects of GMO, genetically modified organisms, Turkish name GDO, leave a question mark in the minds of consumers. Strict controls are essential to prevent biodiversity from being harmed. Ethical informing the consumer and transparency are very important, Mrs. Kayınsola, sorry.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin. Thank you for giving us a deep insight into some of these problems that could be encountered while practicing agricultural biotechnology. And I'm very sure that there will be some solutions which we are going to continue in the next episode. So we are going to have a break here. We're going to take a commercial break, whereby we're going to continue after the commercial break. Thank you so much, Mr. Metin, and see you soon. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to the continuation of our discussion on agricultural biotechnology and their infusion into modern agriculture. What are the benefits? How are they affecting our how are they affecting agriculture in general? And we learning about it. And welcome back to our host, Mr. Metin Ozurek, the CEO of EFO Biotechnology. Thank you so much for joining us once again. So now we're going to continue, and I have a question which is very dear to my heart. Now, when we talk about biotechnology, what is the role of farmers and farm workers? How is it changing? How is the role of farmers and farm workers changing as regarding biotechnology?
Thank you. Thank you, Mrs. Kainsola. Farms and farm workers changing. Farms are no longer just the ones who plant seeds, but the ones who manage the technology. They work with modern tools such as data collection, climate analysis, and soil monitoring. Agriculture workers, on the other hand, work in healthier conditions with the reduction of chemicals and productivity increase with technology-supported machines.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for that. So now, in the last episode, we talked about some of the economic and technical problems that could be faced from agrobiotechnology practices. Now, what is the role of government? What is the role of government policies and regulation in supporting or limiting biotechnology? What is their role?
Thank you, Ms. Kainsola. Government policy and regulation play in support or limiting biotechnology very important, very, very important. This subject, let's look at it for main heading. Supportive, limiting, stabilizing, conclusion. Supportive governments encourage the development and on the ground application of biotech products throughout measures such as research and development, grants, training programs for farmers, and tax breaks. Limiting strict safety, environment, and ethical controls are implemented especially for GMO, genetically modified organisms, and near genetic technologies, minimizing potential risk. Stabilizing policy aim to pave the way for innovations while also protecting environmental sustainability and food security. Conclusion, government policy and regulation are the most critical factor. This ensures the safe, sustainable, and effective deployment of biotechnology. Ms. Kainsola.
Thank you so much, Mr. Metin. Thank you for your insights to these questions, because you are giving us great insight onto how we can easily adopt agrobiotechnology and the role of government in supporting or limiting these practices. So now let's look at the future perspective. Let's look at the futuristic perspective. How will biotechnology support food system? We also mentioned it in food security and climate change, but now food system basically, how will biotechnology support it?
Thank you. Look, six main hats. Open the topic, resistance plants that require less water will come. Soil health will be protected, fertility will increase with microbial biofertilizers. Food waste will decrease with new storage and preservation techniques. Artificial meat, new generation, new technology, artificial meat, insect protein and plant-based products will be more on the tables. Waste will turn into energy and fertilizer. The carbon footprint will shrink, Ms. Kayan. We can express it as.
Now, thank you so much, Mr. Martin. Thank you so much. Now, let's look at we've been talking about biotechnology. Now, what are the recent biotechnologies that are in play and that are most likely to transform agriculture practices in the next decade? What are the most recent biotechnology practices that are common now and that are most likely to transform agriculture in the next decade?
Thank you. With CRISPR, clustered regularity, interspaced palindromic repeats, genetic scissors, and gene editing technology, more nutritious, productive, and resistance to environmental stress can be developed. Combining smart sensors and biotechnology, new food technologies that extend shelf life, new plant species that can sequester carbon. We can express it as Mrs. Kayan.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, sir. Now, how can developing countries easily developing countries, when we say developing countries, a lot of African countries are in this category, and which is one of our main goal to increase modern agriculture practices in these countries. So how can developing countries, like a lot of African countries, adopt these new technologies? How can they adopt it?
Thank you. Let's look at it for main heading. One, training farmers and facilitating access to technology. Two, developing low-cost solution suitable for local conditions, including small farms in the process with international cooperation and state supports. Ms. Kayan.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for showing how African farmers can easily adopt these technologies and also what the roles they have to play. Now, let's go to recommendations and visions. Let's look at the recommendation and visions, whereby what are your recommendations? How do you what are your recommendations? What are the steps that are critical? What are the steps that are critical for integrating modern biotechnology practices as well as microbial fertilizer into agriculture? What are the steps that we need to take for integrating these biotechnology and microbial soil biofertilizers into agriculture?
Thank you. One, conversion of organic waste into biogas and organic fertilizer. Two, Microbial biofertilizers, which optimize the use and water and nutrition by plants, increase resilience to stress conditions, strengthen root development, and improve the water holding capacity on the soil. In this way, it is possible to achieve high and sustainable yields with less input use in agriculture production. Resource conservation and environmental sustainability, Mrs. Kaya.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you for talking about the opportunities that biotechnology offers. Thank you for talking about the technology that biotechnology offers. Now we want to look at how do you foresee the balance between biotechnology and organic and conventional agriculture shaping the future? How do you
Thank you,
see the
Ms. Kaya.
balance?
Thank you. In the future, the balance between organic and traditional methods in agriculture will be shaped by both sustainable product and environment protection goals. Microbial biofertilizers play a critical role in this balance. It optimizes the bioavailability of nutrition in increasing the populations of microorganisms in the soil, releases natural phytohormones, Turkish name phytohormones, English word phytohormones, auxin, stocking, gibberellin, that promote root development and increases the plant's organic matter conversion, improving soil porosity and water holding capacity, thus leading to high yields with less water and fertilizer usage. These effects form the basis of the hybrid and sustainable agricultural model of the future, combining the naturalist and ecosystem-friendly approach of organic agriculture with the yields and durability advantages offered by microbial biofertilizers.
Thank you so much, Mr. Metin. Thank you for giving us this insight, and your level of insight is so nice. So thank you so much for giving us the what we need to look into and the critical role that, and also the balance between biotechnology and organic or conventional agriculture. Now let's look at the recommendation. What are your recommendations? What are your recommendations? What is the critical step? What do we need to do to integrate biotechnology as well as microbial biofertilizers into agriculture? What do we need to do?
Thank you, Ms. Kaya. These subjects, let's look at the 5 main heading. One, to give importance to the training of farmers. Two, making the cost of products accessibility. Three, producing local solutions for government support and international collaboration. 5, and ethical and environmentally conscious practice. We can express it as Ms. Kaya.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Now, lastly, what is your last message? What would you like to tell our dear farmers, our researchers, as well as policymakers? What is your last message to them?
Let's look at it 4 main heading: for farmers, to researchers, to policymakers, and ultimately for farmers. Biotechnology, microbial biofertilizers are biotechnology products that improve the soil and multiple beneficial microorganisms, facilitating the nutrition update of plants and supporting growth with natural hormones. At the same time, they would protect soil health and provide sustainable yields by increasing the plant's resistance to abiotic stress such as drought, salinity, pH, power, hydrogen, imbalances, and climate change to research biotechnological solutions be developed that are suitable for climate, geography, soil structure, and plant pattern-based and field data, increase stress tolerance, and support sustainable yields. The policies that include high biotechnology, applicable, accessible, and for policy should be produced that will provide access to all segments, from small agriculture enterprises to corporate agriculture enterprises. Ultimately, biotechnology will make agriculture the assurance of not only today but also the future. The agriculture basis and assurance and of the future will be biotechnology products, microbial fertilizers will form the cornerstone of this structure, Ms. Kayan.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin. Thank you so much for spending a wonderful time into explaining how biotechnology is very useful for agricultural production and how we can easily infuse it into our traditional method. Thank you so much for teaching us. And we've come to the end of our program today. Thank you in the let's say a big thank you in the comment section to Mr. Metin Ozurek for his wonderful insight into on how we can infuse biotechnology into agricultural production. So if you would like to give us insight, and also if you like to share one or two things about your knowledge of agriculture in on this program, please do well to contact the number on the screen or reach out to us on our email. We would love to have you on this program. We've come to the end of our program today. Till we come your way again, stay safe and let's continue to promote agricultural sustainability. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, dear Kainsola. As Afrotuk TV, thank you very much for being us together with the beautiful people of Africa. Hoping to meet with the beautiful people of Africa frequently, I offer my heartfelt greetings, affection, love, and respect.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Mr. Martin. Thank you for coming to our program today. And we would love to have you more and love to have you more on this program. Thank you so much for your time. And thank you to our dear listeners. So till we come your way again, stay safe and bye.